Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Energized. Ross, the FA Cup semi-finals are going down this weekend, so we're back.
We are back. This is a FA Cup special. Four massive teams left in the FA Cup. The first semi-final will see Manchester City play Arsenal, and the second semi-final will see Manchester United play Chelsea. Basmo, which game will have more goals in it?
Good question. I'd say Arsenal versus Man City will have more goals. That game's on
Right, well,
Saturday.
that's the one you picked. We'll get into that one first. Basmo, what time's that kicking off?
Okay, the first semi-final is on Saturday. Arsenal versus Man City. It's on at 7:45. So it's a nice evening game to chill out and watch. Ross,
With your slippers on.
with your slippers on and your hot whiskey. But it's been a while since an FA Cup has had like four top teams in the semi-finals.
Yeah, also, I feel like the FA Cup this year almost is more coveted just because Liverpool went on and like dominated the Premier League so much that like that trophy was over. So therefore, teams almost shifted focus and they were like, right, let's try and win the FA Cup. Let's try and win their European games. And I feel like the FA Cup, it means a lot more to the teams this year, which is great for us as fans to watch, to be honest. And the funny thing is the first game we have Arsenal versus City. Arsenal have won the FA Cup more than any other team in FA Cup history. I think they have 13 FA Cups. And then Man City are the current holders of the FA Cup. So it's a bit of an interesting clash, especially where the two teams are at the moment. You know, Arteta seems to have Arsenal on a bit of a resurgence. Obviously, they were terrible when coming out of lockdown. But they seem to have found their playing boots. Man City, on the other hand, I mean, they're probably gearing everything up towards the Champions League final. They've won the domestic cups, the FA Cup and the League Cup so many times over the last 5-6 years that like it's probably less of a big deal for them to win the FA Cup again. I still have to favour Man City. It's since 2017, Arsenal haven't been within one goal of Man City. I think over the last 6 games, Man City have beaten Arsenal 3-0 4 times. They just seem to have their number. Let's be honest, that Man City squad with the new 5 subs rule is probably the most dangerous squad in all of England at the moment. They're pure class from top to bottom. You can sort of say maybe they have a problem with one of their centre halves, but Laporte is almost like Van Dijk. When he's in the side, they look very, very dangerous. They really, really do. They're more solid at the back, and it gives them that, football on the front foot. Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden have been incredible. And then, Sterling scored that hat-trick after people were doubting him again, and he has been at the races this season. And I think he's up to, 17 Premier League goals now. So they're definitely in for a tough season with Arsenal. What do you think?
As you said, but then if you look at it from the Arsenal point of view, they have to beat Liverpool. Now, if that game was played 10 times, I think, and it was if Liverpool needed that game to win the league or to win the FA Cup semi-final, I think Liverpool would have won it. But from watching the game, the way Arteta put out that side, it does look better than what I've seen previously. Now, I don't know if he's going to be changing the tactics. Like, Torreira being back in the team, the way Saka is playing up front with Aubameyang, they're sort of having 3 up front. Do you think that's the way they're going to be playing from here on out? Because against Man City, if you go attack for attack, you're going to more than likely let in at least 3 goals.
I just more look at Arsenal's defence and go, they won't be able to stop Man City's team scoring the goals. You know what I mean? That's just it. Who was it? Socrates, Rob Holding, and David Luiz. You know what I mean? When you're talking about that versus Sterling, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Gabriel Jesus, you know what I mean? It just doesn't look good for the Arsenal team whatsoever. Look, they do have some attacking power themselves. Saka has been great since lockdown. Lacazette has found his form in the last 2 or 3 games. Aubameyang can be dangerous anytime. But we've also seen those players be absolutely isolated up there by themselves and not be able to put any impact in the game. When's the last time you ever seen Man City basically do nothing for 90 minutes? You know what I mean? Even when they played Southampton and lost 1-0 to Southampton, you know what I mean? They were all over Southampton. They just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net, which is a rare occurrence for Man City.
Yeah. Also, Man City's league is finished, so they don't have to like solely concentrate on the next couple of games that they have coming up. So therefore, they're like, right, may as well put out our strongest team. Also, Pep Guardiola is going to be on the sideline, not wanting to lose to his apprentice.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, Guardiola sort of come out in the press, and I don't know whether he's put unnecessary extra pressure on himself or what it is, but he's basically said that the Man City board aren't happy with him because they finished so many points behind Liverpool. And I can sort of understand that, but also it doesn't actually matter how many points you finish behind, really. If you're second, you're second. You're first, you're first. No one ever goes, you were second by 20 points, though. It doesn't actually matter. If you're not first, it doesn't actually matter.
If you're not first, you're last.
I was going to say that, but then you get relegated, so that is a bit different.
Yeah.
One thing that also came up during the news for Arsenal this week was Claude from Arsenal Fan TV. He actually has like been kicked off Arsenal Fan TV now for making racist comments against Son. What did you make of that? And do you think he should have been fully removed from Arsenal Fan TV?
I didn't think we were going to get into racism, but seeming as he brought it up, it just went that way. We may as well look at it. Yeah. I was watching a live stream of Arsenal against Spurs. Obviously, they hate each other the most in the Premier League. I know Arsenal hate United as well, but they hate Spurs that bit more.
I think they just take more exception about losing to Spurs. If United beat them, I think they're a bit like, fuck man, you're good. But when they lose Spurs, they're like, we are actually better than them.
Yeah. But well, for people that don't know, Claude's on AFTV, and he's white, and then up in North London, a lot of Asian people sell DVDs. So a racist term used for Asian people there are use the term DVDs. Now, Claude was on a live stream, so you get to know exactly what minute everything was going on, minute and second, because it's a live stream. And as Son, the South Korean footballer from Spurs, was coming off the pitch, Son goes, "Oh, the DVD's going off," something like that, right? But he made an apology after, but just like he was saying that he used that term because this season Spurs are doing a DVD. Lucky enough for Claude, but maybe that was like in the back of his mind when he said that. But like a lot of people know, like a lot of older people would have been brought up in a different generation, and they'd use racial slurs a lot. Look at Ron Atkinson; he's done it numerous times. Former Manchester United manager, Aston Villa manager as well. But he did it numerous times.
Was he the one with Marcel Desailly?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Grand.
Yeah. But he also did it like when he was in Big Brother as well. It's just something that's ingrained in people, and I don't think you can get it out. I think the younger generations are going to be the people that eventually do kick racism out of not only football but out of everything.
Yeah.
But
I do feel a lot of that generation, they're actually maybe not racist, but they use racial terms, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. But you're almost excusing it.
Oh no, definitely not excusing it. I'm just saying
not you. No, not you're excusing it. But like that's almost an excuse.
Oh no, yeah. Well, I know, but until they get educated on what terms that they should use, instead of saying this, you should say that. You know what I mean? And
but can you teach an old dog new tricks? I know you're meant to say yes, but do you actually believe that's Claude, who's let's say 60? I'd say.
Well, like I think.
And he's in a room.
It's not exactly the same, but like I think like a lot of people learned a lot from the gay community when like gay marriage was legalized here, and then a lot of people would have been a bit like, let's say, not knowledgeable about it, and then they're like, "Oh, that's grand," you know what I mean? And they actually did learn from it. And I think with the racism movement, I think the only problem with that is that, look, we advocate that like everyone should be treated the same.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Arsenal are playing City, and like Raheem Sterling's one of like the biggest advocate for Black Lives Matters. You know what I mean? And I just think that people are too afraid that like if they're unsure what to say and they go, "Is it okay to say that?" They'll be attacked. You know what I mean? Because I feel like there's this sort of cancel culture going on at the moment. And be like, right, you're being erased from the world now, and that's it. You know what I mean? So I feel like.
Yeah, but Carol, also Robbie, the head of Arsenal Fan TV, for people who don't know, he did a massive documentary that went like pretty viral there during lockdown. I know we're still technically in lockdown, but all about race, how people like black people, like fans, were spat at, like, and they'd be dripping with spit coming off them in matches, which is fucking crazy when you think about it.
Also, actually disgusting.
I know, man. He was there with his child. I can't imagine how bad. Like, I mean, I can't imagine how bad that'd be. Like, obviously, you probably could probably generate it a tiny bit more because you have a kid. You'd probably be able to be like, oh, how embarrassing that would be for both you and your son. But and then even like the Chelsea footballer, I forget his name now, but he was the first black player to play for Chelsea. He was there getting booed by his own fans. Then Emil Heskey getting racially abused playing for England. That just came out the other day. Didzy, Dave McGoldrick there.
Wilfred Zaha.
Ian Wright.
In fairness, like people who go on and do this all fake accounts and stuff like that is absolutely disgraceful. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
Okay, I 100% agree. But then to actually do it in real life as well is a whole other thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like
do you remember the Lukaku?
It just shows like the lack of class you have to like actually like think that way and think it's okay that you do that out in public. You know what I mean?
I know. You see, the thing is, it's like it's not easy for me to understand because those thoughts don't go through my head. Also, like people that have, you see, I don't want to like associate one like racism is just. Like I mean, remember United had Lukaku, and then it was like the chant was like he has like a, I don't know, it was something like,
I think it's the Belgian genius with the 24-inch penis.
Yeah, something like that, and like everyone thought it was brilliant, but then people were like, no, that's like a against, like that's racist, and everyone's just like, here, look, we were just saying, yeah, the massive dong, like I don't know, but
we sound corrected. He has a micro yoke.
Yeah. Lukaku didn't like the chant because he didn't have a 24-inch penis; it was 25 inches. But but then see, then the weird thing was on the same live stream, Troops, who was also on Arsenal Fan TV, said Harry Kane wouldn't get booked because he's white or because he was the captain of England and he's white. So like, so it's so like, and like I don't want either lad kicked off anything, like, and I don't want either lad getting like hate because even the way
Barry Moore says, don't hate, educate.
Yeah, definitely. It's just because you sort of like pity these people that do it. You know, like I know it infuriates other people, but it's sort of like this person thinks they have to go this low. Look at that 12-year-old who's after getting done.
That's the ultimate where I'm like, I don't know if you should arrest a 12-year-old because he said something racist. I'm not trying to defend that. You should or shouldn't say something racist, but like he's sort of 12. You have to go. He doesn't know any better, and he should be made like go do some sort of like counselling or go do some sort of course like on like the history of racism. But like I'm almost like arresting him is almost like, in fairness, it means he'll never ever do it again. But I'm like, geez, like to be arrested as a 12-year-old is probably very traumatic.
I think they're using that as as a point to like any kid, you are in trouble. But I don't think that's going to stop people either. I actually don't know. Do you know what would be great, right? When they let fans back into stadiums and they do social distancing, because then when like if you're sitting there by yourself with seats around you vacant, you're hardly going to be like shouting racist stuff. Because like people will be like, oh shit, but it's because you're more shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, it's that crowd mentality that like you're like. That's how riots start, because like one person's like, I'll throw the first brick, and then everyone's like, we're all throwing bricks.
Yeah, because you think you're going to get away with it. These people should be named and shamed. Like also, they were just calling their BT Sport with Rio Ferdinand. They're just talking about it there. These people, like you and Wilfred Zaha as well, I saw on his social media, was saying that you should have to put your ID, address, name, password, like you know what I mean, all your like documents on to these social media platforms in order to actually have one up and running to be eligible to even sort of message people.
Yeah, but I also think the social media platforms also have to take some sort of form of accountability. They should be able to. They should sign some agreement or whatever. Okay, I agree to use Instagram, and then if someone says you've made a racist mark against them, like even in their DMs or whatever, Instagram should be able to go back and look at your DMs and be like, right, he used racial term in there. That's been reported to the guards or the police or wherever you are in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I do think the social media platforms have to take some, acceptance over how their platforms being used.
Why do you think they're not doing that though? Because they're obviously not. And like, look.
I think there's a big thing about. I think there's a big thing about protecting people's privacy rights, and then people saying, yeah, but if they can look at your messages for racism, they'll be looking at your messages, and like next thing you know, like some fella will be sending a picture of his yoke to his missus, and then like that will go viral. You know, what's called people be like hacking into Will Smith's DMs and seeing who's like asking about his wife. You know what I mean? So like that sort of carry on. People always like think there's a conspiracy around everything. You know what I mean? And if you like let Instagram see your DMs, which they probably can see anyway, they probably like, no, I'm not using Instagram anymore. That's like an invasion of my privacy.
I know.
But I think that's. I think
12-year-olds shouldn't even have social media.
No, I think there needs to be like a 14 or 15 like age bracket on it, and like that's it.
And a lot of people on social media like was fucking trying to say something so bad to you. Unfortunately, like we haven't got anything like that. Yeah. Probably will now after discussing this shit. Excuse me, well, not shit, but you know what I mean. But they'll try and say something that'll like get you so much that you replied so, to hopefully get some notoriety off you and maybe get some followers and stuff, because people will sell their souls to get it. Like look at people doing all TikToks. Like I hate fucking TikTok. Like the people are just like so hungry to do. Like I mean, what are you going to do? Hire that person to do a floss outside your fucking subway? Like it doesn't make you know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. But I mean,
people are what's called marketers around the nation are like, which TikTokers could we get to do dances outside our subway next?
Yeah, it's going nowhere. Like put them on a podcast, put them on a radio station, put them on an.
I just like to say, fuck you to Claude for absolute making our FA Cup special go on an absolute tangent about racism. Yeah. If you just kept your mouth shut and weren't racist, we could actually just discuss football, which is what people are here for. So we're now going to move into the second semi-final.
You never thought you thought was going to win or what score, man.
And I think it's obvious. Man City are going to win 3-0.
I'll go for 3-0 as well.
It's in Wembley as well, by the way, both games, aren't they?
Yeah.
There you have it.
No, Man United. I'll go 4-0 to be different. You said 3-0. I'll go 4-0. Manchester City. But finish off AFTV. Do you like what they're doing?
I like watching the live stream TVs, but like I more view them almost as a comedy act. I don't know if that's good or bad, but like I like seeing. I won't watch their live stream, but I'll watch the match, and then when someone scores, I'll go back to the live stream, rewind 2 minutes, and then watch what unfolds.
Yeah, but I do love the passion. You know, like
absolutely, yeah.
They're the same as us. Like they're football fans, and it's just their emotions are getting broken because when you've had the highest highs, now you're down in the doldrums. It's a sad day, and we know exactly what it feels like.
Who's your favourite on AFTV?
Robbie's obviously a lovely guy, but the most viral videos are obviously DT's after.
Yeah, well, Troops is up there as well.
Troops is up there. I think Troops is probably making a bit more because he's. I
think he's more in there with Robbie. I think him and Robbie are actually best mates.
Well, they're making millions. Robbie's the one who's laughing the most, put it that way. But like, here, kick racism out of football and kick racism out of life, because how much longer can we like?
Yeah, but you know what?
We're 30 now, nearly, right? Are we still going to be saying this shit in 10 years' time? And if it is, like, what the fuck, like, you know?
You know what's actually mad as well, though? Like, I can't believe that, like, you actually bothered to go to like, you should be actually concentrating on your own shit without being like trying to actually hate on other people and hate on someone for something that they can't actually even control. You know what I mean? That's like, fuck you, Baz, because you're Irish. It's like I didn't have actually a choice in that matter, but like, thanks.
I know. If you're new to the show, make sure to subscribe and let us know what you think as well. And we'll move on to Sunday's game. Sunday, Manchester United taking on Chelsea at 6 o'clock. This is the second semi-final, if you didn't already know.
I think this is the juicier one, isn't it? Just because, like, these two are both fighting for third spot in the league. These two, the last time Chelsea beat Man United was actually in the FA Cup final in 2018. And also, at the moment, United are going into this game almost sort of favourites because they've beaten Chelsea in the last 3 meetings. So, like, this will be, if United beat Chelsea in this game, this will be the 4th time they've beaten Chelsea this season, which is insane.
Lampard against Solskjaer. Both lads looking for their first title as well. Same as Arteta in the other game.
Yeah, it's funny that all 4 managers played quite a high level of football. I suppose if you go back about 4 or 5 years ago, like all the top managers like weren't that good at football.
Yeah, Mourinho.
Like Mourinho, Wenger, Ferguson. You know what I mean? Like those guys like weren't like these footballing greats. You know what I mean? I don't know if I call Arteta a footballing great, but like Pep, Solskjaer, Lampard, like all Champions League winners.
Very true, man. Very true. Man United, after winning last night against Crystal Palace, wasn't the most convincing win, but a win's a win. Chelsea also beat Norwich 1-0.
Norwich 1-0. Not also a convincing win, but as you say, a win is a win.
Both teams are literally chugging over the finish line. they're like, what? Okay, right. Both teams are competing for the top four. Chelsea also have to play Liverpool, and then they also have to play Wolves. So they have to play Liverpool away, Wolves at home on the last day of the season. And United obviously have to play West Ham, and then they have to play Leicester. Ross, both teams, Chelsea are also in the Champions League, United are in the Europa League. Looking at this game, are they like, right, we shouldn't start our best team? Because at the end of the day, top four is way more important than the FA Cup.
I think Chelsea definitely have to start their best team. They're in the driver's seat for that top four at the moment. They're 1 point ahead of Leicester and Man United. On top of that, they're basically knocked out of the Champions League. They're 3-0 down to Bayern Munich, so they can almost forget about the Champions League. Frank Lampard, to really be like, right, great season, and to probably increase his budget for next season in the transfer window, probably needs to bring home a trophy. If he does bring home a trophy, he'll be hailed as an absolute hero. And no matter what he does for the rest of his management career, they'll go, look, he came in on very little experience. He won his trophy in the first year. Got his Champions League football.
No transfer.
Frank Lampard. Yeah, no transfer. Lost Hazard. I mean, he's done a fantastic job there. He really has.
Definitely, yeah.
Let's call a spade a spade. And look, Chelsea are looking to build next year. They already have 2 transfers in the door. I think they're going to go for this as much as Man United are going to go for it. I think Man United are also going to go for it. Look, you're only 2 wins. Yeah, they're only 2 wins away from a trophy. You know what I mean? You can't not go for it at this stage.
What happens if either team loses a player? I know you can't really be looking at that, but I don't think both teams are going to start full starters 11s. They're full starting.
I really think they are. I think Man United need to, start filling those trophy cabinets with some silverware. There's a bit of dust on some of those trophy cabinets. You know what I mean? If United go 2 seasons without trophies, people start to question them. You know what I mean? And I think with the current team we have at the moment, a trophy would almost boost them. They do play even better. You know what I mean? If they had a final to look forward to, that would actually boost morale and would get players playing better. As opposed to if you play a sort of half-assed team, just say United start Fred and McTominay and they don't play Pogba, and then United lose. Pogba, like, if they played me, we would have won. You know what I mean? And he'll be pissed off then. Then you know what I mean?
Pogba had a poor game last night.
Yeah, but he knows he can be a difference maker when he needs to be. Also, like, I do understand what you mean about, like, the players. They do look a bit leggy. They do look a bit tired. But
what happens if it goes to extra time, Ross?
Well, that's why you have the 5 subs. You know what I mean? So that's when you do bring on, your Fred, McTominay, Igalo, you know what I mean, Dan James. That's when these players need to come on and, almost show why they should be getting into the team instead of the others. You know what I mean? It adds the competition vibe to it as well when these players come on. They have to show a performance.
I get what you're talking about, but I don't really agree. I think Chelsea will start a stronger team than United. And then, as we saw in yesterday's game, when Matic came on, United sort of controlled the game then. So I think United will actually bring on the players that United fans prefer to start. Because then,
but do you not think Solskjaer just played the same team all the time, and he's probably just not going to change it?
No, I think we'll run out of steam by then. You have to be focused on the league, man. I don't want an FA, as a United fan, obviously, I don't want an FA Cup and to come 5th. Like that. Whereas I'd rather come 4th than no FA Cup, because the Europa League is a gamble. What happens is once the United sort of, if they make the full 5 subs, whatever 5 players they take off, the next 5 aren't as good. And then if we start going into extra time, as we've seen, the United team just goes more and more and more defensive, and then we get a Femi Martin situation when he scored in the last minute against United. I think we're going to start off with a sort of mixed bag, and then have these lads on the bench to come on and make a difference. I think Martial, maybe a Gallo will start.
But don't think Martial has a good goal scoring record against Chelsea, and that better chance he'll start.
He does. I'm just worried. I feel like this one will go to extra time, if not penalties.
I could definitely see it going to extra time.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If we have too many players leggy after that, West Ham, if West Ham are playing Watford tonight, if they lose, they'll be even more up for it. It'll be leggier. And then the last day of the season against Leicester, it could be everything, and they have nothing left. That's what I'm nervous about, man. And I know,
but I think Solskjaer is someone who's won the treble, and he'll want to win trophies. And
without doubt, you want to win it. But you have to
value trophies over everything.
Yeah, but you have to look in the mirror. What's more important? Sancho's not going to be there going to United because they got the FA Cup. He's going to be like, I'm going to Chelsea because they won. They're in the Champions League. Obviously, he's not going to go to Chelsea, but you know what I mean.
No, I totally agree. There is definitely that premise of whoever's in Champions League football can do it. But at the end of the day, if you only finish fifth, they still are in the Europa League and they can still win that. You know what I mean? So it's not the end of the world. Now, obviously, winning the Europa League at the moment is definitely much harder than finishing fourth in the league. You know what I mean? They basically just have to get 6 points out of the last 2 games, win 2 games there. That's all they have to do when they're playing West Ham. Especially if West Ham win tonight, then they can almost afford to lose to United. Not that West Ham will be are that tall of an order to ask for with the gulf in class, but look, I think it's going to be an all-Manchester final. As we said earlier, United have won 3 times against Chelsea this season. Chelsea, you can sort of say, are going to go into this game and we can lose the 4th one. But Man United are going to be we have their number. We know how to beat them. I also find both teams, all 4 teams have problems at centre-back that are left in the FA Cup. Not all of them are solid. I think that's where we will see maybe a change for United. Maybe Eric Boye comes in and starts alongside Harry Maguire. I think from a physical standpoint, he's a lot better, especially if Chelsea start with Abraham or Giroud. They're a lot more of a physical threat up front than who was it last night? Ayew. So I would have went for that. And then I think it depends on who we're going to have a left back. I'm sort of in the impression Brandon Williams got knocked to the head. Unless he has a concussion, he should be able to start. Luke Shaw has also played brilliant games against Chelsea as well. So I don't know how bad his ankle is, how much he went over. I think we saw from last night. Don't think Fosu Mensah is the answer.
No. No.
Ollie actually gave him quite a bit of praise after the game.
No, he was solid, but he just kept going up and then passing it square and then running back.
Put it this way, you can see he's never played left back before.
Yeah.
I don't be too harsh on him because he played totally out of position. If anything, I almost would have put Wan-Bissaka left back and played him right back just to. Yeah. But I think because Zaha was on the left, I was right. It was don't let him do that.
We just didn't have much of an outlet on the left.
No,
there's no left footers. But Rashford came good near the end. So what's the prediction now?
I think United are going to win 2-1. I think Rashford and Martial will get on the score sheet again. They seem to be every game getting on the score sheet. I think maybe Tammy Abraham might get on the score sheet for Chelsea.
In 90 minutes?
In 90 minutes.
All right. If United start their strongest team, also Bruno Fernandes hasn't been as good recently as well. He needs to be more. They need to focus getting him in the game. But if United start their strongest team, I think they'll win it in 90 minutes. But if they don't put out the strongest team, I can see it going to extra time, and then I think Chelsea will have a stronger side, and then Chelsea will win it if that's what happens. So it's all going to come down to the team sheet for United. If United's strongest team are out, they will win. If it's not, Chelsea in extra time.
So just ask you a question on Man United. People are and myself and yourself included, are after almost getting worried about United after the last 2 games, right? But they won 2-0 and they drew against Southampton. Now I know when we drew against Southampton, it was almost the momentum of the game. We'd move into third if we won. But if you look at Man United's results since we come back from lockdown, they're absolutely exceptional. They're the best team in the Premier League since lockdown in terms of results. But 1 or 2 cagey games, and it's almost as if within the squad and the fans that hint of doubt seeps back in. It's like, oh, we're going back to the old style.
Yeah.
Do you think that's actually true that we might go back to the old style, or do you think that's just tiredness on the players' behalf?
I think it's
And also, even the way you said, like Bruno Fernandes, he hasn't been good the last 2 games. Like, he did get an assist against Southampton. Yeah, he wasn't that overly influential versus Crystal Palace, but like, if he doesn't actually get another goal or assist for the rest of the season, his stats are still outrageous since he's come into the team.
I know, but I even said Pogba wasn't great yesterday at all. I think Pogba was worse. You see, what happened last year when United were going for fourth, they were still in it, and then everyone else was messing up, but we kept messing up as well. And it's just like, would you just win? And then we didn't get top four. So it's sort of like flashbacks of last year. It's like Liverpool not winning the league last year, but then once they won the Champions League, they knew they could win the league. It's the belief. Once you break through that barrier, then you're like, right, we've done this before, so we can do it. So if you get over the line this year into the top four, they're like, right, we are definitely eligible to be in a top four team.
Yeah, do you feel like we're allergic to top four at the moment?
Yeah, they're really they're not responding to them DMs, like, but it's a win tomorrow. Like, I think I finished the game strongly against Palace, so they're like, right, that was just only a minor thing. Let's go on to the next one. So I don't like, but like the thing is, I don't want to put my chips all in, being like we're perfect.
Who do you think is the danger man for Chelsea in that game?
Pulisic looks pretty good recently. I didn't really rate him. He was in the team obviously in the beginning of the season, dropped out. I think he's very creative on the left, but we have Wan-Bissaka there, although Wan-Bissaka hasn't been amazing. He doesn't look great running with the ball, but like he'd rather like give you the ball to then defend.
He's like, let me tackle you.
Yeah. But like he must be improving even better when he's getting attacked with Greenwood, Martial, Rashford. Like, I mean.
And who do you think the danger man for United is?
Anthony Martial.
Yeah, he is very, very good against them. For me, I think that our danger man is Bruno Fernandes, just because I actually looked at his impact and his stats since he's joined United. United were winning 37.5% of Premier League games before Bruno was at the team, and now they're winning 66.7%. We're nearly winning twice as many games as we were before. And then Europa League, we've improved by 9%. And then just overall, United were winning 44.1% of games in all competitions, which sounds shite, to say the least. And now we're winning 70.6% of games.
Yeah, quick question.
The fella is unbelievable.
Is Bruno Fernandes allowed to play in the Europa League? Because he played in the Europa League with Lisbon.
I'm actually not too... Yeah, I actually think he played the Europa League game for us. So, like, he must be allowed. Apparently, I heard someone say this now. It could have been Chris giving us an absolute spoof, but I heard, because you know the way United were trying to get him in the summer.
Yeah.
I heard like the January deal was always going to happen, and like as part of the January deal, Bruno wasn't allowed to play in the Europa League for Lisbon.
I think that's true. I didn't want to ask you on camera to put you on the spot, but I was sort of like, I'm going to forget.
I heard Sporting Lisbon purposely didn't play him in the Europa League, so maybe that is true. So, Basmo, are you saying United go through then? Yeah.
Yeah, if we start our strongest team, yeah.
And it's an all-Manchester final.
All-Manchester final, man. That's going to be outrageous. The final will be on August the 1st. It's a Saturday. And,
when's that in relation to Champions League and Europa League?
The Europa League is then back on the 5th.
Of August?
Yeah.
And when's the Champions League back?
Champions League back's on the 7th.
Of August? Yeah. Nice. Well, in fairness, Man United can rest.
Look at stuff like I have written down. Like, it's
unbelievable.
Just drop it in.
In fairness, Man United are 5-0 up against Lask in the Europa League, so like they can like play a totally different team, the FA Cup final team.
As I said in the last show, Phil Jones' testimonial.
Yeah, exactly. And then Man City play Real Madrid, so they need to put out a full-strength team straight away. But we know Pep Guardiola won't play a weakened side. City don't have a weakened side either. So, look, all Manchester final. Solskjaer's done well against Guardiola so far, so it'll be interesting to see. But as we always say here, we're slightly biased towards Manchester United here over on Energized. You won't catch us saying City are going to win over here. So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first trophy, the FA Cup.
And as always, make sure to like, share, subscribe. And as
always, stay energized.